What's up guys, it's Eric from B-Side. Today we're going to be installing our brand new wireless Apple CarPlay Android Auto to this Lexus RX non-navigation model. It's a plug and play install. It's also compatible with other similar ear non-nav Lexus as well. So let me go ahead and show you the steps on how to install it and also demonstrate on how to use it. So let's get inside the car and to get started. Alright guys, now that we're in the car, the first thing we're going to do is raise the armrest and then pull on this panel like so. And just slowly just keep pulling until they all come off like this. And next, go ahead and push on this clip, push out, and once it pops, just go ahead and just follow this line all the way to the left. And then let's go ahead and put your finger behind here, pull, and just keep pulling. And then once you get to this point, we're going to remove this. Place your finger here and just roll it out like that. And it'll come off. And then we're going to remove the rest of this panel. Pull at the angle of how these clips are inserted, okay? In order for it to come out smoothly. Next, use your pointing finger, push down on the release tab, and then push out, okay, on the clip to remove the start button connector. Alright, so once we get this far, we're gonna go ahead and remove these two 10mm bolts. There's one here, there's another one here. I'm gonna have to get on my back for this. So there is the hole, all right. And then if you look up, let's see, I'm not sure if the camera is catching it, but it's up there, okay? If you go on your back, you will see it. And be careful with this, very easy to lose this bolt. So I recommend you use a magnetic socket like the one I'm using right now to ensure that you don't lose it. I'm using a socket with an extension just so I have more control instead of using the power tool. Sometimes the power tool just moves too fast and could knock the bolt out. So just trying to be extra careful by using the socket wrench with the extension. So let's go to the other side. Alright, so the second bolt we need to remove is right there. All right. All right, there it is. All right, next step, let's go ahead and remove the shift knob. Just push down the shift boot like that and just turn this counterclockwise. Okay. And then let me just go ahead and remove this guy. All right. And then before we pull this out, let's go ahead and remove the screen. So grab a panel removal tool like this one, or actually use a smaller one like this. Okay, there it is. Pry it out. Right, and then the rest of those three bolts, we're gonna remove it with the 10mm socket. Let me go ahead and just pull this back like this. We're gonna disconnect these two connectors, one GBIF, one main connector, and then we're gonna remove this clip here. Okay, to remove that clip efficiently, we're gonna use one of these. Let's see if this works. All right. There it is. All right, and then go ahead and set the monitor, safe location. All right, next. So go ahead and just open it and then go ahead and remove this little lever here just by pulling out with your finger. Then go ahead and squeeze the top to push it out from the rails like this. Okay. Move it all the way, angle it all the way down, and then you'll be able to remove it. Alright, so once that's out, we are going to use Phillips screwdriver. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these two screws on the bottom. 1, 2, okay, and then also 1, 2, 3. All right, so once all that's out, let's go ahead and remove the under panel here. There's a little clip here that you push right here. There's another one here. Okay, and then you could drop it like this and just pull this out like so. And then there's a connector for your floor lights. Go ahead and take that out. Let's go ahead and set this aside. And then let's go ahead and remove this side panel piece here. If you use a panel removal tool, probably be easier than prying it out with your fingers like what I just did. And then there's two 10mm bolts we're going to remove, 1 and 2. And then this whole assembly is ready to come out. And then go ahead and remove this. This also comes off separately. Once this is out, you can go ahead and pry this clip off right here. Let's go ahead. You can use a flathead screwdriver for this as well. Oh, there it is. Okay, and then go ahead and just push down on this release tab and then just pull it out. Alright, next we're gonna pull out the radio. Just lay a thick blanket here so that the brackets from this won't scratch anything. So go ahead and just grab it from the bottom and just go ahead and just pull it out like so. Alright, and then let's remove the connector for your clock so you can pull the whole radio out more. Alright, so once this is out, this will reveal all the connectors that we need to connect. This is the main connector we have for this vehicle. So how we connect this, we're gonna go ahead and work on this connector, this, and this, I believe, these three tops. So I'm gonna go ahead and just unplug all of them, press down on the release tab, just pull on the connector. There's gonna be only one matching connectors on each of these. Actually, there's also this one that has red and black wires on them. This one actually connects to the top, and this could connect to the bottom too. It could fit, so make sure you get the connections correct. Okay. Alright, so we went ahead and connected these connectors, these two, and then we only have one more factory connector here. This one's going to connect to the top. Before we do so, we're going to route all these cables all the way to this glove box area. We're going to go back to the top monitor area. Got the power cable with the microphone and audio. Okay, and we also have main harness interface connector. Alright, so we'll keep all this here. We're just gonna grab this connector here, we're gonna move it up, okay, to behind the screen. And you could either go through the back or the front. Alright, like this. Okay. And then let's go ahead and connect this female side to the car's male side. Alright, okay, and once we route that, let's go ahead and route our two GVIF cables. Blue part is going to go behind the radio. The space is a bit tight. You may want to route one cable at a time. So I grabbed two cables, but I'm pushing only one cable at a time. There's one. And there's two. Alright. Okay. Just like that. Since we have all the connections here for the rear monitor already, let me grab my rear monitor and just plug this in and reinstall it here. So here's my rear monitor. This, and just like that. Alright, let's go ahead and carefully screen back. Okay, there it is. Alright, we also finished connecting everything behind this radio as well, but before we push the radio back, let's go ahead and route this USB cable. So this USB cable, we want the plug side, okay, this female plug side, to go loop around. Okay, we're going to push it in from here, go to the radio, and then loop back here and go where the start button hole is. Leave some slack, and we're just gonna let it hang here for now. And after we achieve that, let's go ahead and carefully push this back in as well. Alright, one more thing before I put this in. You actually don't need to remove this connector, it's just these two. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place this back in. Alright, and then carefully push everything back. And don't forget to connect your clock back on. Now we're left with all these cables in the glove box area. I'm going to start off by connecting our metal box. dip switch configuration, don't follow this. Use the one that's listed on the instruction manual or the one that's going to be on the label here, okay? So it might be different depending on which hardware you get. So let's go ahead and connect this connector here. Okay, like that. And then we'll go ahead and connect these two GBIF cables. One is labeled out and one is labeled in. The one that's labeled out is going to be connected to the inside, and the one that's labeled in is going to connect on the outside, like so. Alright, and then we just need to connect the HDMI cable here, like this. Then now let's go ahead and connect our wireless module. Go ahead and screw this antenna on. The antenna design may change, so the one that you have may look a bit different. Okay, make sure don't over tighten this, because if you do, it may break if you over tighten this, so just be very careful. Before we connect the HDMI cable, connect the power cable. This is a cable that's coming from the upper screen, and next to it is a HDMI cable. And we got the line out. That's where we're going to connect this audio cable. Okay, and we have this microphone that's going to connect to the mic input. And then the USB cable is going to connect here, like so. Alright. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to organize all these cables here, and then everything is going to fit behind this. Okay, so how we get to this is go ahead and stick your finger here, just pull it out. There's going to be a clip that falls off, and then you can go ahead and move this out all the way like this, and there's plenty of room back there to fit both of these. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and organize these, zip tie it over here, move these cables down there, organize these cables between two boxes, and place it there. But before we do that, let's go ahead and test the function of this CarPlay device. Alright, so this is just for testing, so I'm going to test it using the wire version, and then I will demonstrate to you how to use the wireless. So we're going to long press the menu button. Alright, it's taking you into CarPlay. Before I do that, let me go to media and change the source to box. There it is. Alright, sounds working, that's good. CarPlay mode, let me summon Siri. What's the weather, Siri? Okay, it's working. Alright, looks like everything's working. So let me take a few minutes to organize this cable and tuck these two boxes under behind this panel here. Alright guys, so we just finished installing the wireless CarPlay Android Auto interface for this Lexus RX without factory navigation. We know it doesn't have factory navigation when you have a dial knob like this and when the screen is smaller. So let me go ahead and show you how it works. Before you get into the CarPlay mode, you want to make sure you select auxiliary so that you can hear the sounds. And once you do, press and hold the menu button and it'll switch over to the screen. And once you're in the screen, you could go ahead and use a jog dial right here, and it'll move between all your menu items. And you can also press up and down, jump around like this, and then you go ahead and press down to select. Okay, and then our track up and down also works as well, up and down, and back button works as back, and then menu button again to go back to the factory screen. Long press the menu to go back into CarPlay. And audio is Siri. What's the weather, Siri?
It's currently clear and 63.
Alright, and then just show you how all the screen looks. So this is the Apple Maps. Here's the Google Maps. Alright, so this is how it works. This also works wirelessly. So in order to set up wirelessly, you're gonna have to go through some of the menu items, and I'll go ahead and show you with this separate video. We'll connect the phone here, wireless. So what you want to go on your iPhone, go to General, go to CarPlay, and then make sure your Wi-Fi is turned on. Let me turn it on all the way down here, and then there it is. Go ahead and click on here, and it's gonna ask you Bluetooth pairing request. Yes, say yes again, and then give it like 10-15 seconds. It's going to automatically connect, and then every time you get in your car, you turn on your car, your phone will automatically connect to the CarPlay device as well. It'll only take maybe like 10 seconds to do so. And then let me go ahead and disconnect from this CarPlay from this phone, and then let's connect the Android Auto. Show you how that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn off my Wi-Fi. Turn off my Wi-Fi. Turn off my Bluetooth. Alright, completely disconnected. Okay, first let's test out the wired Android Auto. Okay, for the Android Auto, it's very picky on what type of cable you use. Very selective. There's so many different type of USB Type-C cables out there. Make sure you select the one with high-speed data. Like this one I got on Amazon. The cabling is very thick, makes it very fast. Okay, so this is our wired Android Auto. And let's see. Okay, there it is. Okay, and then up track, previous track, up track, previous track. And then now let's go ahead and try the wireless Android Auto. So let's go ahead and disconnect. What you need to do is connect to this device both Wi-Fi. Alright, and then another thing you will need to do is you have to manually enable the wireless Android Auto from here, okay? Alright guys, connect your Android Auto wirelessly. You do have to go to your Android Auto settings and kind of play with it. Depending on your Android version, it might look a little different from here. So go ahead and play around with this, but we got this successfully connected. Here it is, same functionality. Alright guys, this concludes the installation demonstration of this wireless CarPlay Android Auto interface. If you have any questions, drop a comment below, or you can email us at info@bsonicusa.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe our channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at the next video.